Do you know the do's and don'ts before you submit your VA claim for a high level review? Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dewayne. I got a video for that Kimble, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. In today's video, I am going to share my list of do's and don'ts before, not after, but before you submit your VA high level review. Make sure you stick around. Before we get into today's video, make sure you click the link in the description section and to get signed up for our monthly veterans membership. So today's video, what should you do before you submit a high level review? And what should you not do before you submit a high level review? Now, today's list that I'm going to share with you is my list. Another retired rater or rater may say something different. But as a former VA rater that has adjudicated hundreds of claims, this is on my list. So let's go over what not to do. Number one, don't file based on they said. I did a video, I think it was last year, where I talked about what is the number one non-VA regulation that gets vets into trouble. They said, Dewayne, they said this. Dewayne, they said that. And I'm like, veteran, what does the regulation say? What does the regulation in the M21-1 and M21-5 say as it pertains to the high level review process? You got to start there, okay? Number two, what worked for another veteran may not work for you. Every claim is different. Now, you may have a buddy that filed a claim for migraines, filed a claim for tinnitus, got denied, did a high level review, and won. You come along, file a claim for migraines, file a claim for tinnitus the same way, get denied, go to a high level review and get denied. And what does most veterans say? Well, my buddy said, my other buddy said, they said, okay? Every claim is different, okay? You have to understand what you're claiming, how you're claiming it, and how the VA claims process can impact it. Number three, don't file without knowing the why. This is so important. Now, if you're doing a high level review because they assigned the incorrect effective date, they assigned the incorrect percentage, and yes, you can obtain service connection and still disagree and win, but you have to know the why and base it off of fact. A lot of veterans think high level review and associate that with a denial. Okay. But even still, if you were denied, before you do that high level review, you have to know your why. Okay. So don't file without knowing the why. Number four, if you can't explain why you're appealing, you're not ready to file. And just basically saying, I disagree, that's not a strategy. It has to be based off fact. And I just disagree doesn't fall under fact. It is not part of a game plan or any strategy that I know of that will help you win that high level review. Number five, just because a VA rater listed favorable findings doesn't guarantee a grant. Know what was missing. I really don't like favorable findings in a rating decision. I talked about it before and I shared my reason as to why. Now, there could be one reason that could really help you. For example, for direct service connection, you need three things: current diagnosis, link in service, and a nexus. If for some reason you didn't have a diagnosis before, and in the favorable findings section, they put a diagnosis. Now you have a diagnosis. That's the only thing that I can see favorable findings are good for. It is mainly confusing, but just don't think because they gave you favorable findings. They denied me, but they gave me favorable findings. Well, I'm just going to do a high level review. There's other things you still need to know and you need to understand. Let's keep going. Number 6, don't file while angry. I did this one time. You don't want to do that. You don't want to file when you are emotional. Read over the notification letter and rating decision once. Read over it again twice and a third time if you have to. But that second and third time, now you're highlighting stuff. You're writing down, hey, I had this evidence in here and I should have been granted a 40%, but they only gave me a 0%. By the way, I did an intent to file 12 months ago, and they got the effective date incorrect. I got a copy of my VA claims folder, and it shows I was treated in service for the back multiple times, and then the CMP examiner says I wasn't treated at all. So those little key nuggets you could miss if you're angry. Take it from me, I was highly frustrated, angry, going back filing claims. But once I settled down, looked at the information once, looked at it twice, then I understood, and it helped me build my game plan. Now let's go over the second list. What you need to do before filing that VA high-level review. Number 1, you have to be specific. Are you challenging the percentage assigned, effective date, or denial of service connection? Clarity is key. You have to understand, wait a minute, they got my effective date wrong. It should have been this. They got the percentage wrong because they service connected me for this condition with this diagnostic code, and the evidence of record shows I should be assigned this particular percentage. You have to be specific. So when you complete that 0996, short, direct, and to the point based on facts. Number 2, review the evidence of record. Make sure you've seen everything that was in your file at the time your claim was adjudicated. Now, in order to do this, what you're going to have to do, you are going to have to submit a FOIA request to get a copy of your VA C-file, claims folder, whichever one you want to call it. It's the same. That way, you're looking at everything that adjudicator looked at. That's key. Also, that rating decision. Look at that evidence section in that rating decision and make sure everything is there that you submitted. Number 3, understand your appeal options. Learn the differences between a supplemental claim, a high-level review, and board of appeals, and choose the best route based on your situation, not what somebody else did. I talked about that in the previous list, okay? Now, where can you find this information? 1, I got a video on it, okay? But it is in the notification letter. So you need to understand the difference between a VA notification letter and a VA rating decision. In my book, I share the first page of both so you know what you are looking at, okay? Now, if you decide to do a supplemental claim, 0995, high-level review, 0996, or just going to the Board of Appeals, you could find this information in the notification letter. And it tells you the time frame, your options, but a lot of veterans don't read it. They jump right to the rating decision, or they'll look at, oh, I got service connected. I got 80%. Oh, I got all this back pay. And that's as far as they go. You don't want to make that mistake, okay? The fourth and final thing you need to do before filing that VA high-level review, have a game plan. Know what outcome you want, what evidence supports it, and what your next steps will be if the appeal is denied again. The game plan is the foundation. And here's one thing that I use, and this is a nugget. I didn't tell them, oh, my effective date is incorrect. I took it a step further. Not only did I tell them the effective date was incorrect, I told them this is the document that I submitted on this particular date that has a date stamp of this date. Therefore, when I filed a claim for increase for this particular condition, this should have been the effective date, because way back then they didn't have intensive files. I know I'm probably showing my age, okay? But now they do. So not only did I tell them I disagreed with the effective date, I had evidence to back up, at one, as to why the effective date was incorrect, and two, what the effective date should be. And I asked the decision review officer, do you agree or don't you agree? And she said, yes, I agree. And guess what? It was all being recorded. So again, that is just my list of what you should not do before a high-level review and what you should do. Keep in mind, this claim is yours and you have to proceed the way you feel you should proceed. But base that off of the VA's regulations, to include the 38 CFR and M21-1 and M21-5. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.